first webinar of the year. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Morocco Sim's first webinar of the year 2026. I wish you a happy new year, full of health, wealth, and many, many good success stories, and a lot of good in the world of simulation and patient safety. Today, we're gathering all as part of the first webinar of January 2026, entitled NextGen, the floor is yours. It's a clear message from Morocco Sim that showcases the importance of juniors in its community and in the future of the simulation in Morocco and worldwide. We'll have the pleasure today of chairing this session, me, myself, Dr. Darwish Mohammed, GP in Morocco and treasurer of Morocco Sim. Alongside myself will be my long friend, Dr. Ayoub Eid Hassan, who I'll let him introduce himself. Ayoub?
Hello, everyone. Hello, Dr. Mohammed. I'm really thrilled to be with you guys here. It's a real opportunity to exchange how us medical students and junior doctors see and visualize medical simulation. And welcome, guys, to this Shine webinar with a specific focus today on the next generation.
Welcome, Ayoub. Ayoub is currently serving as the president of the Junior Club in Morocco Sim, one of the 14 special interest clubs in Morocco Sim, alongside the 6 other pedagogical institutions. And we'll have the pleasure of having 4 speakers today, 3 from Morocco and 1 all the way from the UK. I hope he's not bringing the weather with him. Federico, I'll let you introduce yourself, please. Put the mic on.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Mohammed, for the nice introduction. My name is Federico de Santanamira, and they can call me Fred. I'm currently a simulation fellow with the East of England Deanery, working with Health Education England. I'm also part of SP, and I chair the fellow and new faculty special interest group, which is going on for the last year or a few less months than that. And I think I'm in here with that capacity at the moment.
And you're more than welcome.
Yes, and I'm a emergency medicine trainee in my final year of training. So I might have to leave in case something goes wrong, but hopefully we've got time. Thank you.
Hopefully everything goes well. And at the same time, I would like to say it again and again and again. ASPI is one of the best societies in simulation around the world. They're representing simulation in the UK, part of patient safety, and a lot of work, especially by their past president, Colette, and their current president, Sharon. We're conducting a lot of work together, and we're very proud of this affiliation, as long as all the affiliation. We met first during their conference, where we presented a lot of things, and we had to have Fred with us to showcase the amazing work their special group is making. I'll move along to my other fellow brothers and sisters on the club of juniors, and I'll start with the girls, so Suleiman, you'll go last. We'll go in with Iman. Iman Zarifi, the floor is yours. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Iman Zarifi. I am a final year medical student from Morocco, and I'm so happy to be here with you today.
Welcome, Iman. It's always a pleasure to have you, all the way from the south of Agadir, representing the south. And I'll move to the piano specialist, Dr. Kautar Sabouni. Please introduce
Hi,
yourself.
everyone. Hello, my name is Sabuni Kautar, and I am a sixth year medical student from the Faculty of Medicine and Pharmacy of Oujda, Morocco. Very pleased to be with you all today. Thank you.
I think everyone having a smile right now when you stated Oujda, because all the good memories from the HGIC, the 4th edition, are coming up. So thank you for the good hospitality, and looking forward for this year's 5th edition in the International University of Rabat.
Inshallah, thank you.
Last but not least, Mr. Leader, Dr.
Hello,
Ahmed
everyone.
Suleiman.
Hello, Mohammed. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a real pleasure to be part of this webinar and to contribute to the discussion on medical simulation, its present, its future, and its strong connection with us, with Generation Z.
You're more than welcome, and I'm very, very excited to hear what you say. But before giving you all the world and letting you amaze us with your presentations, I'm seeing a very familiar face, someone who gave a lot to the simulation community, And we having the new Ryu with us. How are you doing? It's always a pleasure to count on you with us. Merci Denis d'être toujours là avec nous. C'est Monsieur Débriefing avec with good judgment, Débriefing avec bon jugement. Et c'est un honneur toujours de vous accueillir. Et je vous donnerai la parole pendant 1 minute parce que il le faut. C'est Denis qui est avec nous.
C'est un plaisir d'être ici.
Merci. So after presenting all of our panelists, I'll go back to the subject of today's conference. This conference is literally next floor, the next gen, the floor is yours. So we'll be discussing the present, the past, and the future of simulation and patient safety in our respective worlds, showcasing the importance and the major role that the juniors have played. So personally, we started this journey with the vision of our president, Professor Mohawi, when he came up and we were discussing the interest groups in Morocco. And he was like, okay, we have 12 interest group right now. Something is missing. We have a lot of juniors. He's led a lot of workshops on a group called Piglanta and Pygmalion, having more than 25,000 members in Facebook. A lot of the juniors have learned from him, and we're all here, one of them. So having this part of their junior and those energy put in on simulation and patient safety was very important to us. So we came with the amazing idea from the Professor Mohawi to create a junior club that we founded together and we established on the last mandate of the board. From there, we started working on creating a vision for Morocco Sim Junior. So Morocco Sim Junior isn't just an extension of Morocco Sim. It's a vision, it's a board, it's a rejuvenation of Morocco Sim through the keys of her junior members. And here I'll move to my colleague, Dr. Ayoub Eid Hassan, who's currently serving as director and president of Morocco Sim Junior. I've done my share of things, so I'll let him introduce Morocco Sim Junior.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed Darwish. It was an honor to follow your path to be like a president of this club. Through this club, I discovered many things. I was invited to many like workshops to learn more as we advance in this adventure. I love to call it adventure because every day we learn something new about medical simulation, and it inspires us to integrate it everywhere in our lives. So it's a blessing. All thanks to our professor Mohammed Mohawi, who integrated us through gamification and through other learning methods. And now we see medical simulation integrated in almost every part of our medical courses. But the problem is it's underused in medicals in our courses, and also it's unevenly used. But we can see that in our studies, not every student gets to experience it and explore it, because as we all know, simulation, we can use it to foster our learning, but also to develop communication, problem solving, and every angle and aspect of our daily life as physicians. So with us today, Dr. Federico, Iman, Kautar, and Suleiman, we will try to discuss in a friendly way our vision and the problem we think there are in the field of medical simulation and how to improve them, and also our experiences. So without further ado, we will start with the first guest, Dr. Federico. Dr. Federico, can
Yes,
you
hi, Ayub.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi.
So just to put it on
floor
paper
is
for
yours.
everyone participating here, we'll go through all the 4 speakers. Each will have 5 to 7 minutes, and then we'll open a Q&A session where we will be answering all of your questions. Federico, go
Yes.
for it.
Yes. So The way I got involved into the fellow and new faculty SIG, how did it come up? I joined as a simulation fellow back in 2024, and we normally have 1 year of rotation where you do your fellowship, basically running sims and doing work with the deanery and how you connect to your fellow colleagues. And I was asked to go to a conference that was the SP conference. I wasn't a member. I was involved in teaching simulation, but not as much. So I went for the conference and I learned a lot. I thought I knew a lot of simulation, but hey, I didn't know so much. That's what I realized when I went for the conference that I'm a very small speck. And I tried to find other fellows, other people who are getting paid to do simulation by NHS England. And we didn't have anyone to connect. There was no one there. There were so many people around as fellows. And that's when it clicked me. How do I get all the people with the same mindset to come together? How do I connect? How do we support, influence, develop, and inspire? And that brought me to coming together and bringing up this community called Fellow and New Faculty SIG. It took me around 6 months to get the name right. The idea was there because it's a lot of political and you need to make sure that you're sending the right information across because you've got people who are educational fellows and different kind of fellows who might be interested in simulation. And we wanted to get everyone involved together. So that's how I started. I proposed a business case to SP, how it would benefit them, how would it benefit us. And the thing that drove me forward was that we got our members are not necessarily need to be members of SP. You can still be a non-member and still join our group. So since then, this group was formed only in August last year, and we've got over 120 people now attending our meetings. Our next meeting is on the 27th of January. And the way we've decided topics is what I wanted to do better, what I wish I would know before becoming a fellow. So we initially, the first meeting was around welcoming and knowing people who have joined the community. And the first topic, I think it was on what I wish I knew before becoming a simulation fellow. The third one was on principles of research and evaluation in simulation. And the next one is going to be on transformative simulation. So the idea is that SP has got a lot of special interest groups and we've got a lot of leads amongst them. So we're getting their expertise to come and talk into these topics. And that's the way we're getting expert opinions and expert advice straight into leading simulation. And that's how the new educators to making them feel comfortable. The idea is for them to realize that that there's a lot of opportunities and how to approach it in the right way. This is how the fellow and new faculty special group interest has come up. It's amazing that Moroccan Sim has gone ahead and is even connecting to medical students. SP also has got a special interest group within them, but it's quite charming to know that the medical students and early educators, and especially in simulation, are getting this platform made by you guys. That's really nice to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Federico. It's inspiring to see how your meetings are both like friendly and you can see that the degree of difficulty and familiarization is there. So thank you again for allowing to be with us, although you have like a night shift. That's really kind. That's really kind of you. So now we are going to move on to Morocco, to Oujda, with Dr. Kautar. She will be talking about her first steps into medical simulation and the medical and simulation world also, and her vision towards the future. Kautar?
Hello again, everyone. Thank you for giving me the floor today to speak about my experience. So, as a medical student, thank you again for giving us the floor today. So, when I first started medical school as any student, it was most of my time was spent on theory, especially in my first 2 years. I had attended some practical workshops, like learning how to take blood pressure or suture. But for me, it was just skills, practice, and disconnected from the big picture of what simulation really is. And so then my first step into simulation was in my third year, when I had a 1 month mandatory rotation called simulation. And so that was my first step in simulation. I played my first scenario there, and I was put in the role of a doctor for the first time. And what I experienced there was amazing, because even though I had the theory and the everything in mind, but the stress was huge and it was scary as hell, not gonna lie. And so that was like the first time I got to know like the importance of simulation. And so ever since, I continued learning and searching for opportunities and getting to know more about simulation. And I had the chance to be part of Pygmalion with Professor Mohawi, and see all the work he was doing and how he was promoting simulation. And then I had a chance also to attend the HTC, the Healthcare Training and Innovation Conference, of which was part of the task force. And as the CMTV interviewer, when I had a chance to meet experts from around the world, and we got to share like the ideas and the experiences, and it was really mind-blowing to see how they view simulation and how they want to innovate the medical education and make it step up. And so after that also, I continued with Piglanta with Professor Muhawi, thanks to him, which is a ludic competition all around simulation. So that was like a quick view about my experience. And so all of that shapes my vision on simulation and made me realize that simulation should be a regular and systematic part of the medical curriculum, not just during rotations, not just for a few weeks. It should be year-round for me, aligned with the modules we study, like cardiology, nephrology, and so on. So why that? Because while every student studies the same theoretical modules, we don't go through the same rotations. So every student we don't have access to the same rotations. So simulation helps bridge that gap. It ensures equal learning opportunities for everyone if we add it to the regular curriculum. It allows us to act, to decide, to reflect, but most importantly, to fail. And yes, to fail, to make mistakes, because mistakes should happen in a controlled environment, but never at the expense of a patient. And I believe that exposure is key, in that repeated practice under controlled stress transform the fear into experience and experience into confidence. And another crucial point I had in mind is assessments, because we know that modern medical education is moving towards structured evaluations like OSCEs, what we call les ECOS, objective structural clinical examinations. So these assessments do not only test the theoretical knowledge, but they also test clinical skills and communications and with the patients. And all of that can be trained through simulation. So integrating simulation alongside theoretical modules ensures that all the students get the practice they need to succeed in these assessments. It's more importantly to become, of course, confident and competent and safe doctors in real life. And so simulation for me is that important. It won't, of course, replace the clinical rotations. I believe that clinical rotations are also have their parts in the process of learning, because we get to see the real life environment, how the system works and everything. But in parallel, there should be simulation to practice the theory, never the first time on the patient, as we always say. And so as a Gen Z student, this is my vision. Simulation integrated systematically for me, applied fairly to everyone, and used to prepare all students for real-world challenges And I believe that that's how we create the next generation of healthcare professionals. And thank you for giving me the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Kautar. Bright points. You touched very good angles from the simulation rotation to the experience of Pygmalion. So we all had our share of learning from Pygmalion. To a very good sentence that you said, mistakes should happen in a controlled environment. We will get back to this quote, and now we will go to Suleiman. He will also talk about his experience, but he will highlight how the student engagement and national initiatives illustrate the promising direction of medical simulation in Morocco. So, Suleiman, the floor is
Yes,
yours.
of course. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for having me today. I'm truly honored to be part of this webinar and to share my perspective on medical simulation, how it's shaping the present of medical education and redefining its future for Gen Z. My name is Suleiman, as Ayub just said. I'm sixth year medical student from the Faculty of Medicine and Pharmacy of Tangier, and medical simulation has been a central part of my training journey, both academically and personally. Today, I would like to share not only the Moroccan experience in medical simulation, but also how living this experience as a student has shaped the way I see learning, medicine, and the future of our profession. Medical simulation has become a global standard in modern medical education. It's recognized worldwide as a key tool to improve patient safety, train high-risk situations, and develop both technical and non-technical skills. Simulation allows us to practice and learn from mistakes in a safe environment while strengthening teamwork, leadership, communication, and decision-making under pressure. Skills that cannot be learned from textbooks alone. In Morocco, this vision is clearly taking shape. Over the past years, simulation has been progressively integrated into medical education in a very structured and intentional way. Universities, simulation centers, and educators have embraced simulation not as a trend, but as a true educational philosophy. What defines the Moroccan approach is not the pursuit of technology for its own sake, but a strong focus on scenario realism, clear learning objectives, and high quality debriefing. Simulation is used to build confident, reflective, and responsible future doctors. On a personal level, one of my first profound encounters with medical simulation was through a national competition called Piglanta. This competition actually based on quizzes and clinical scenarios organized remotely and repeated every year. I still remember the pressure of the countdown, the unexpected turns in the scenarios, and the feeling of being constantly challenged. Despite the stress, and maybe because of it, this experience remains one of the most powerful learning moments of my medical journey. Last year, I was fortunate to finish first in this competition, not as a goal in itself, but as a proof of how deeply simulation can push us beyond our comfort zone and accelerate our growth. What this experience taught me is something I will never forget. Simulation recreates the emotional reality of medicine. Your heart rate increases, your mind races, and every decision feels heavy. The stress is real, the responsibility feels real, but hopefully the learning remains safe. That balance is exactly what makes simulation so impactful, especially for us, for Gen Z. Another major milestone in my journey was my participation in SimCup, which represents one of the clearest expressions of the maturity of medical simulation in Morocco. SimCup is a national medical simulation competition that brings together all medical faculties in the country, creating a unique space where education, collaboration, and excellence meet. It includes nearly 20 different simulation-based competitions covering a very wide range of medical and surgical specialties, and involves around approximately 400 to 500 medical students from all over Morocco. During the competition, SimCup, I participated in the ECOS competition, which was a particularly rich learning experience through structured clinical stations and realistic scenarios. I learned how to approach patients systematically, how to communicate clearly under time pressure, and how to adapt quickly to unexpected findings. More importantly, I learned by observing others, by being debriefed, and by reflecting on my own performance. SimCup goes far beyond competition. It functions as a national educational platform that promotes fraternity, collaboration, and knowledge sharing between faculties. Students learn from one another, debrief together, and grow collectively. While there is a competitive dimension, the dominant spirit is mutual respect, humility, and collective progress. These experiences reflect a broader reality. Morocco is not experimenting with medical simulation, it's building it thoughtfully and coherently. This approach resonates particularly well with Gen Z. As learners, we value active participation, immediate feedback, meaningful experiences, and psychologically safe environments, and simulation responds perfectly to these expectations. In Morocco, it has empowered students to take initiative, to speak up, to lead teams, and to reflect critically on their actions. It builds confidence, but without arrogance, and competence without fear. Looking toward the future, the perspective of medical simulation in Morocco is clearly promising. The focus is moving toward deeper integration into our medical curricula, stronger faculty development, and increased collaboration between institutions, both nationally and internationally. Technological advances such as digital simulation, AI, will certainly enrich this field, but they will remain tools serving education, not defining it. To conclude, the Moroccan experience in medical simulation reflects a thoughtful, structured, and forward-looking vision. Initiatives like SimCup illustrate how a national community can come all together around a shared educational values, emphasizing collaboration, excellence, and patient safety. For Gen Z, simulation is not a distant future, hopefully. It's already part of our professional identity, and through continued commitment, innovation, and collective effort, Morocco is clearly moving in the right direction in shaping the future of medical simulation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Suleiman. You highlighted very good points. We all shared the Pigranta experience, too much stress, very high heart rate, but we learned a lot. We learned through competition and responsibility and stress, as you said. Also, SimCup was like a rich event with more than like the 20 competitions. For now, I will give the floor to Iman, and she will be talking about the students' responsibility in simulation.
Hello, everyone. My name is Iman Zrifi. As I said, I am a final year medical student from Morocco. My journey with simulation began through institutional programs at my faculty, but it quickly grew. It grew beyond being just a curricular activity, and this is my story. Over time, I became involved in an online pedagogical program called Pygmalion, and I had the chance to attend several simulation conferences. But one particularly formative experience was me participating in the National Simulation Cup in Rabat, which is a competition bringing together medical faculties from across Morocco, where I was placed first in my track, in my assigned category. But interestingly, the most instructive part of that experience occurred outside the competition itself. During preparation, my peers and I organized our own simulation practice sessions. We explained procedures to one another, clarified clinical concepts, and just practiced together in an informal but focused way. And through this peer-to-peer work, I began to notice differences in levels of hands-on exposure among students. And this led me to reflect on how we as students could complement our formal training in a constructive, in a responsible way. That reflection just motivated me and really made me initiate a student-led hands-on workshop on peripheral venous catheter insertion. The workshop was supervised by professionals, but designed and delivered by students using a peer-to-peer teaching model. And in total, 114 students participated. And what stood out the most was not only technical improvement, but the level of engagement, responsibility, and psychological safety that emerged when students learned from and with their peers. So from this journey, I experienced firsthand that students often identify these learning gaps very early because we are so close to the learning process, we notice them very quickly, and we are usually already motivated to act on them. And I've also identified some key elements that make any student initiation, any student-led simulation work, which are clarity of roles and objective, structured supervision and feedback, and most importantly, trust. And when these are present, students don't just meet expectations, they often exceed them. And this balance doesn't reduce quality, it strengthens learning. So overall, these insights have shaped my vision and how I think about the next generation of simulation. Because from my perspective, sustainability depends on how institutions view students, not only as passive participants, not only as consumers of medical education, but as co-creators and co-designers of learning. So if we want the next generation of simulation to be truly inclusive, perhaps the question is no longer how to include students, but how to build with them. And when I saw the title, Next Generation, the floor is yours, it resonated with me and I smiled because for me, next generation is not just a generation, it's a responsibility and it's one that students are ready to carry.
Thank you, Iman. That was insightful.
Yeah.
I was led to. Mohammed, do you want to say something?
Sorry, you?
Do you want to say something?
I was gonna say it, Iman represented in the professor competition during the same cup, and you can see why.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to hear young colleagues very eager to learn and to practice through simulation. It makes me think to my previous experience in simulation a long time ago, 36 years ago, when I was a fellow in McGill University. And that was a great experience. And what I say, I am really pleased to see you with can I continue? Yeah?
Yes, definitely you can. Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm very pleased to hear all of you because you have this power to start and continue in the simulation path. I really liked what said Kautar Sabuni about never the first time on the patient. And of course, the occurrence of mistakes can happen in a controlled environment. And she said, but never at the expense of the patient. I would say all of you experience mistakes in a clinical scene. And what I can just tell you, maybe with the experience, is that human error is physiological. So what you are looking for is simulation 1.0. but simulation 2.0 is linked to the simulation 1.0 by clinical debriefing after adverse event in the clinical scene. And this is the next step. But don't think there will be no mistakes at all after simulation training. Simulation is a way of living. It should be linked to medical training, and like you said, it's part of the medical life. And so the experience I have is that simulation does not prevent from the occurrence of mistakes or error, but it's a very potent use to correct, to understand the mistakes, and to prevent further mistakes in the same range. But like I said, there is a link which is clinical debriefing, and clinical debriefing is rooted on the way of debriefing you learned in simulation. So it's something to think about, that the next step is going into the clinical scene and assessing the way everybody work together, train those who work together. This is a interprofessional education, and there is a major importance of the assessment of performance, like you said, teamwork and debriefing. And because simulation has a special mood where benevolence and respect are very important and always present, I think the use of benevolence, learner-centered debriefing, respect to everybody will be implemented in the clinical scene as simulation continues to be practiced more and more. This is a wish, but I think it will happen. Thank you for your all presentation.
Thank you very much, Denis. As always, wise as ever. I'm very proud of every one of the junior teams. You couldn't represent Morocco Sim Junior any better, Federico. So the affiliation with ASPE and all the affiliation that we do through Morocco Sim shouldn't be sitting on papers. We should work together. We should make global simulation and a global network something that we all be proud of, and something that will be ready for the next generation after us. And this is the goal for us, to develop both simulation and patient safety to the absolute maximum in the era of AI and data and everything else. I'll go back to my colleague Dr. Ayoub Hassan to showcase some of the vision of Morocco Sim Junior during this mandate of the board, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you, Dr. Dervish. So it's always a pleasure to know that we have such students and such youth that are representing medical simulation. We know that we are in safe hands. We know that they are actively participating. I witnessed what Iman did in her workshop. We worked together, and I can see her eyes went bright as soon as she knew that students are learning and wanted to learn. It was a terrific moment to witness that also medical students are very hungry to receive and also to participate, because medical simulation, it's all about participating. We give an active role. So about the Morocco Sim Junior Club, when I was elected, the vision was very clear. Juniors must define medical simulation through their participation. We needed to be more organized and this club allows us to be more organized and structured. Oh, and the second thing that I think have to be in our club is to be sustainable and to give continuous learning and also participation into projects. That's the big part of being active in every club in the world, but let alone in our junior club, we need continuous achievements and also projects. The last part that I really like is to be impactful. As a youth generation, we need to our efforts to be seen and to be like recognized by others because as we start, we necessarily are not very precise in doing things, but we need to be more precise and we need to work more on the accuracy of our projects and to analyze what we've done and what we will be doing in the future to be impactful. Just one small idea is that we see that medical simulation is used a lot in practice, in medical practice and health practice in general. But I wanted to highlight also that we can use it in research. We already use it in evaluation, but also in research. It was my project this year is to let medical students perform a research in a simulation scenario of articles and see their performances and identify the gaps and what they didn't learn and what they did, and through that we modify the learning process of the research simulation. I think it's going somewhere, and we are trying to learn and analyze it more. Also, we can learn from my friend Dr. Federico the way they were organizing meetings from just welcoming each other and sharing their the way they learned through simulation to a very advanced topic in the last meetings. He say translation simulation. So from just the training environment through like organizing systems and modifying and judging the workflow of clinics, for example, in translation simulation. I think the best part of being connected to such junior clubs is to learn from each other and move forward. Maybe the experiences that weren't working in some place, we will skip that part and educate each other on how we will advance our medical simulation as youth generation. One point that is very good is that we have very active community in our club. But this is all thanks to the Pygmalion like community. They were all involved. They are eager to learn from each other, and in every city we have community of medical students who want to actively learn, actively change, and actively be involved in this virus, as some simulation experts say. So thank you again, Dr. Kautar, for highlighting the learning from mistakes, because the philosophy of learning is very intriguing, and saying that we need to learn from mistakes when we are and we know we are in a controlled environment is something that each medical students and health students need to hear, because before being introduced to medical simulation, we are afraid from being judged by our peers or our professors, which is not the case here. We are learning from each other in an active, so you are as important as the professors and as the judges or anyone else in this learning circle. Professor Adib is here with us today. We all know his active work on integrating objective structured clinical exams in Morocco, and we in Marrakesh we have this exams that are integrated, and each student must pass them, and they give a huge value on how medical students are evaluated. And I think all medical students should integrate this strategy. And as you said, also, Dr. Kautar, simulation should embedded in curricula and not just added on top of it. It should be a clear structure. So this is my vision. Also, the practical way of how we are working and or we will work is to respond to the needs, to real world needs. We need to analyze the gaps, as Dr. Iman said, and respond to that. So we need to take action, and the action should be educational, impactful, and sustainable, as I said before. Also, as the younger generation, we have access to more technology. I'm not saying that the older generation lacks that, but just in the future, as Dr. Suleiman said, the AI can be with us or against us. We are also near that, and this will help enhance the realism of scenarios, the adaptability, and also the feedback. So this is a huge add-on, but we need to just add it to enhance it, not base everything on AI. And lastly, I am proud to say that Morocco Sim Junior now is in another era, thanks to this speech that we witnessed today. It shows how much action we need to take, and we have all the tools that we can work with in the present. And thank you, Dr. Derwish.
Thank you, Ayub. I don't think someone would have done the same or as good as a job as you're doing right now in Morocco Sim Junior. The vision, the leadership, and the collaboration work that you're showing is second to none. And thank you very much for that and for all the contribution to the work, especially in the field of research and all the master classes that you're doing to our juniors and all the workshops that you're leading on this matter. So thank you for that. I needed to acknowledge you on all the work you're doing. I'll move to speaking some facts about the junior community here in Morocco and what we're doing so far. So alongside I think it's already been clear. We all go back to the source of Pygmalion Group. The we all It's a community that started in 2012, 2013 with Professor Mohawi doing stuff in just the comment section that was developed all the way to the Zoom area. One of the good benefits of COVID, if we can say that. And then we moved to Zoom, and then it exposed even more the work that he's been doing all these years, and it showcased the importance of trusting the juniors, because we always say the next gen, the floor is yours, and it's good, but having a next generation, we always need the experience or the less younger people, because they are the light. They are the light that guide us, and they're putting the spotlight on the right things to do. We have a lot of energy, we have a lot of technology, as Ayub said, but we also make a lot of mistakes. And having those psychological safety and those safe places to make those mistakes possible and to make from them learning opportunities is something that you should be very, very thankful for the old generation and for the less younger generation that paved the way for us. And this should be a lesson to all of us as the next generation right now, to make sure that we transmit all this work and all these ideas to the next generation after us. And this is basically the Pygmalion effect. And this is something that's dear to Professor Muhawi because he brought this, and he's he's kind of the godfather, the WW07 of this generation for all of us. So he's implemented this inside of us. So I would like to publicly and acknowledge him that he's the mentor of all of mentors. He's what David Gaba is for him to all of us. So publicly, thank you very much, Professor Mohawi. Thank you, my mentor, my second father, and Allah يرحم لك الوالدين. Something can't be expressed in English, so to go in the mother tongue. Speaking of facts, Morocco right now, not just in Morocco Sim, but in all the work we're doing in simulation, we're one of the leaders worldwide in gamification. We're the leaders in the projects, in the prototypes, in the abstracts, and we have a lot of work there. At the same time, we have in Morocco Sim an MS award. In MS Awards, we have an innovation contest, and each year we're amazed of the amazing work that Morocco Sim students are presenting and junior community are doing. We created, in my last thesis, the first escape game manual in the world as in a framework for the next generation as to learn with gamification. We've created frameworks with Morocco Sim for simulation that's benefits and how to challenge and how to teach younger generation. So putting the spotlight on juniors is good, but teaching juniors is even better, and showcasing how we can show that juniors can do more than that is by managing them right and by coaching them right. So thank you very much to all our professor and our mentors, especially Professor Mohawi. Another fact is the junior community is present in each part of Morocco Sim. We have a lot of mentor mentees programs. So through the other special groups in surgery, in pharmacology, in dentistry, in everything. So we do this and we kind of go like, okay, what do you want to do? What does Iman have in mind? What does Kaushal have in mind? What does Suleiman have in mind? What do I have in mind? What does Ayub have in mind? Okay, this is good. How can Morocco say make it happen, help you? Okay, we need this, we need this, we need mentors, we need this. Okay. Those are the means. How can we help you more? I need coaching. This is coaching. So this is my way of saying thank you very much, everyone. This is the facts. And please, I'll get back the word to Ayub and we open a Q&A to take one or two questions if we can answer them. But the main part of what I wanted to say at the last part is thank you, Professor Mohawi, our WW07.
Thank you, Professor Mohawi. We can't thank him enough for doing everything for us. Thank you, Dr. Mohammed Darwish. Also, I learned from you a lot. The way you introduced the Morocco Sim Junior to me was impeccable. The way you are the ambassador of our club junior, you are the reason why we met Dr. Federico. You also went recently to showcase the application of work of Morocco Sim Junior in the USA in the Morocco Sim Junior Journal 2. And also the way you are fighting the good fight to keep all the medical students involved each day, and the way you are sharing knowledge in selfless way. So without further ado, we will open the Q&A session right now.
So I'll start the Q&A session with a question. Do you guys know that Morocco Sim are doing a lot of work in the fellowship programs with other societies and other simulation centers? So through Morocco Sim and through the affiliation that we're doing with Federico too, with ASPE, we're working a lot on fellowship programs. And those fellowships will benefit all of the younger, the older generation, all of us, to open a real global network of simulation and to exchange more ideas. I'm taking a lot of pleasure in having Federico with us because he was one of the main people I've met in ASPE, and his energy and all the work he want to do. And he's being very humble about it, because the first thing that he said when we met, he said, okay, there is a lot that we can learn from you guys as you did it before, but at the same time, we can teach you a lot. And I was like, this is the best keywords that you can say to make me work with you very, very much. And we did it. And showcasing the importance of the Frederico, Sharon, Kellot, and everyone. The first January webinar is with you guys. I think Ayub, we have a comment from Zahra Al-Hilali.
No. Yes,
Thank you very
she
much.
is. She said she's moved. Yeah.
So please, guys, this is the moment. If you have any question, we're here to answer it. And especially if you have other questions for our panelists, the floor is yours.
Okay. As we are waiting for the questions, I just wanted to bring
Yes.
up another important topic that that I've been working on here. You know that the simulation society in UK has been doing it for years. And now it's a time where a lot of people have their own simulation centers in every hospital and every trust. And it's becoming so staged apart that there's no connectivity. So, as you're like doing this, what I would say is to please maintain this framework, what Mohammed and Ayub are doing, just to continue it in that way. Because right now I'm finding it difficult to get everyone back on board. You know, even to have simple discussions to understand what research is going on. Uh, what happens is we start doing the same work and then there's someone else doing it somewhere else, and we need to invent the wheel every time. And that's something I think you all as a young group can focus on to avoiding it and keeping that framework well in place right from the start.
Thank you, Federico. Thank you, Fred. So our meeting is nearly coming to an end. In the we go usually for an hour from 8 to 9 p.m. And we don't just close it because in Morocco STEM we have a full webinar program during the year discussing the next and the furthermore steps that we'll be discussing more about it. I think we have. We'll take the last question and those two last, Ayub.
Yes, I will just read them.
We're having two questions.
So the question by Nourjihan. Nourjihan, by the way, is a president of medical students simulation club in Agadir. She's asking how simulation-based education can be practically integrated into clinical training to minimize dead time among Moroccan medical students, and what concrete roles can students play in organizing and facilitating these simulation activities. So, Dr. Mohammed, do you want to answer it, or should we invite the guests to answer it?
Let's start with the guests. The floor is theirs today.
Yeah.
I would like to answer on a specific part, which is how can students play in organizing and facilitating the simulation activities, since my team is about students. So I would like to say that students don't replace faculties and don't replace institutions. We don't start by asking for autonomy. We can't. We start by proposing a structured, a supervised initiative aligned with existing learning objectives. And we need to keep the safety, we need to keep the quality. And once the professors and the faculty see the level of preparation and responsibility from students, the support is followed naturally. So this is an easy thing to do. We just need to find those motivated people, and then the support will come.
I couldn't have ended that better. That's very good. So it's nearly 9 p.m. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you to Dr. Ayub Ait Lehsan for being such a good president of Morocco Sim Junior. Thank you, Fred, for answering our demand and for working with us. I know you had a very tight schedule. I know you made the time, so thank you very much for that. And through you, I want to thank ASPI and all the amazing work you're conducting. To my fellow younger generation, Dr. Sabuni, Dr. Zrifi, and Dr. Ahnesh, thank you very much for being yourselves and for invest in all this amazing energy that you're doing in this field of simulation and patient safety. I'll close the session, but before that, as I said, we have a full program in Morocco Sim when we discuss Shine webinars around the year, and we started this year with the webinar from Morocco Sim Junior to showcase the importance that juniors are playing for us. At the same time, I'm very proud to say that this one was in English, the next one will be in French, and it will be taking place on the 11th of February 2026. I'll switch to French. So, le 11 février 2026, même heure, même endroit, 20h à 21h sur Zoom, sur notre lien sur Zoom. La Morocco Sim présente le webinaire suivant à travers Monsieur Pédagogie, le doyen des doyens, professeur El Brahim de la FMPR, la réforme du 3e cycle des études médicales dans tous ses étapes, et qui sera modéré par personne d'autre que ma chère amie et collègue et board national de la Société marocaine de simulation santé, professeur Mkawino. Juste après, dans l'ambiance du mois sacré de Ramadan, et là je passerai en arabe parce que le prochain langage sera en arabe, في الأربعاء 11 مارس 2026 كان يا مكان رحلة المحاكاة عبر الزمن عبر الأستاذ الفاضل ومعلمنا كامل أستاذ أحمد غسان الأديب، وسيكون الإشراف لأخي وزميلي في المجلس يونس بوشارب. D'ici là, je vous donne rendez-vous dans notre prochain webinaire et je pense qu'on a parlé assez de Piglanta. To not close the session with announcing that the Pygmalion season is over, but the Piglanta is coming next. And what's special about Piglanta this year, Iman?
I'll let you say it.
For the first time, we'll have two coaches, Miss Iman and Miss Umayma Abina. So for the first time, two coaches. And I know that Suleiman will be playing an important, special role. We'll be discussing later. Kautar too, me and Ayub, we did our time. So it's time for you guys. Thank you very much for your time and see you on the next one.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.